Happy Tuesday, guys. Well, my name is Lauro Herrera, and I want to welcome everybody here to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. You know, this channel has been really growing over the last year. In fact, it took me 9 years to get to 1 million views on YouTube. And in the last 4 months of 2025, we have hit almost 450,000 views, which is just mind blowing. Think about it. It took me 9 years to get to 1 million views. And thanks to all of you guys that show up, watch my content, even the haters that watch it and don't like it, I thank you. Thank you for calling
That's
Senior.
right.
Thank you for calling Senior Life Insurance Company. How can I help you? As you guys can see, I had to take a call there. No sale. But I wanted to get on here and talk to all of you guys. Again, thank you for all that come and watch my content. Final expense telesales is, something that I'm very passionate about. And I've been doing this for, over a decade. And when I started, a lot of people hated the idea of selling over the telephone. But here we are having success doing so. And today I invited some of my newest recruits to join in on this conversation. And as we're on the phones here, plugging away, making presentations, making sales, the number one goal is how can we build our company with the right people, right? As Jim Collins said in his book, From Good to Great, you got to get the wrong people off the bus, and you got to get the right people on the bus, and then you got to know exactly where it is that you're headed to. And for us, again, our focus is to help as many families as possible with obtaining a final expense policy. But again, as I was talking to my teammates, I was asking them what were some of the challenges that they feel that people have in the market space. And for that, I've invited Cal Doon and Bobby LaCour. And let's start with Bobby. Bobby, can you share with everybody what your thoughts are when it comes to the challenges agents face of why they maybe hold back from joining an opportunity? What your thoughts are, please?
Yeah, I would say the number one thing is the big wall is, coming up with lead costs, forking out the money before you make any money.
Right. And that is a concern for everybody, I would say. Even agents that are veteran agents, they're concerned about leads. Now, are you concerned, Bobby, when it comes to buying leads? What's your biggest concern about doing that? Do you think that agents have a struggle with? Besides the money part, what do you think else puts fear in these agents?
I would say just getting out there and starting this whole thing, starting learning something new, learning the computer system. But those are small. I mean,
Right.
it's
But
getting
I
out
think
there, learning new things.
quality, right? The quality of leads. So it's the fear of having to come out of pocket and investing in your lead system because you need the leads to make money. But I would say that a lot of people, they're not only just scared to death about leads, but the quality of leads. I think in most cases, that right there is your biggest fear, that they buy a set of leads and then those leads are garbage, right?
Sure.
Wouldn't you guys say that would be a safe assessment to that? And how about Mr. Caldoon? What are your thoughts? Do you believe
Yeah,
that leads is that number one fear?
definitely definitely like Bobby said, you want to have leads, but also I think, to kind of like a corollary to that is additional is, lead quality. And here, the system that we have is lead quality has been phenomenal. I mean, people see advertisements on TV, social media, wherever it may be, and they call right away, and we can attend to them right away. And it's not like it's not put in a back burner for 2, 3 months at a time, and then we're trying to like, tell them, hey, by the way, you called about this lead that you had interest in 2 months ago. No, they're interested right now. They want information right now, and oftentimes we can, provide that information right now and sign them up right now within a one call close situation. So it's very advantageous to us. So yeah, it's the lead quality
Exactly.
to me has been phenomenal for me. Yeah.
Exactly. The quality. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, not because me and Jody own this lead system, the lead platform, but we've put a lot of energy and time into it. Why? One, we're insurance agents ourselves. I am on the phone selling with my agents. I'm on the phone training agents from the front working these leads. Like right now, you guys saw me take that call. No sale. But again, lead quality definitely makes a difference. And Khaldun, how many calls have you taken today, Tuesday, June 17th? And it's 9 a.m. in California. How many total calls have you taken today?
Total calls, everything's been 4, but only 2 that have crossed 2 minutes. So
Okay.
yes.
So you've had 4 total inbounds, but only 2 of those were considered billable, ladies and gentlemen. That means that the lead went over 2 minutes. So not like other lead companies or agencies that they just bill you for the lead as is, or if you're doing your own marketing, right, and you pay Facebook to do the ads and then you receive the call, you pay for everything that you receive. With us, we give you a 2-minute buffer. And let me tell you what, everyone on my team loves that buffer. Because if it was the other way around, can you imagine that? He would have had 4 calls that he's paying for, and that can add to your cost per acquisition. It will increase it higher and higher. Why? Because not everybody that calls is going to have a complete connection with you. So after 2 minutes, we bill at $45. But think about it. He's gotten 2. And out of those 2, he closed 1 application for over $600 in AP. I myself have received, I believe, 2 inbounds so far, no sales, but I made complete presentations. And again, my job is to make as many presentations as possible on a given day. And am I going to close everyone? No, but I'm going to do my best to close a high percentage of them. If for anyone that's out there, if you follow my training program to the T, I guarantee you a 20% conversion ratio. And what you'll find is that that number around our group is actually an entry level number. When we got guys like Khaldun at 50%, others at 30%, others over 50%. Why? Because they got this process down to the T. The other day, I created a video talking about objection handling, talking about the importance of having a scripting system. And we really push that here. This is not an opportunity where you come and we're just going to give you a playbook and say, good luck, see ya. No, it's on the contrary. I'm here focused and training people in real time. And these gentlemen here can agree to that. I show up. And if I can't show up, I mean, that's rare, but I show up Monday to Friday and I'm here 8 hours. And these gentlemen get to listen to me go to work, and I get to listen to them. And guess what? I learned from that as well. But we're here to grow. We're here designed to build out an agency of agents that are having success. We don't have thousands of people, and I don't want to. Like I shared with all of you, I have over 120 reps. And that's not a whole lot of people when you think about it, especially in this business. And Bobby, yesterday, I wanted to highlight. Yesterday, Bobby, how many inbounds did he take?
4.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby took 4 inbounds. And out of those 4, Bobby, how many of them did he close out? Submitted to Senior Life.
I closed 3.
So think of this, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, 3 applications out of 4 inbounds. Now, Bobby's from Montana. He's from, beautiful state of Montana. But one thing with Montana is that if you're a door-to-door agent, you're traveling, lots of mileage. I think you were telling me, Bobby, I think typically for you, 100 miles is nothing one way, really, pretty much to run leads as a door-to-door agent, right? There's some ridiculous number, no?
Yeah, for sure.
So imagine this, guys. Here's Bobby with over a decade of experience door-to-door. making the transition to the telephone sales. And Bobby, what's been your experience so far? Because I know you're still in the field and you know doing your best to transition. But what's been your number one, I would say, hook that's kept you engaged here with our platform?
I would say that 2-minute buffer. I mean, if you don't like the vibe of the person, they're, giving you the wrong, thoughts, hang up on them. There's more leads out there. You don't have to pay for that if it's under that 2-minute buffer. Go find another one.
Exactly. And that right there, it's such a big deal because again, these people, they're calling in for a reason, right? They're calling in for a reason. And if that reason is not final expense, move on. And I'll give you guys an example of that. I'll give you an example of this. And I'll share one of Caldoon's calls that he just had. And it was, I think it was under 2 minutes, right? The gentleman was asking for something that we don't have. But again, when you're running ads, those ads can if you're paying for the calls coming through, you're paying for the good and the bad. But let me share with you guys. See if I find that one that you just had. Could have been this one. And just listen in. What 2 minutes can do for you.
Senior Life Insurance Company, how can I help you?
I want some information on this $25,000 final expense thing.
So yeah, I'm not sure what. So that's, you have to be qualified for that, ma'am. We don't give out free money, or the government doesn't give out free money. So I don't know what you saw, or.
What are the qualifications for it?
Yeah, so that's it's based off your age and health. So yeah, I'm not sure what you saw, but no one just gives out free money, $25,000. So okay.
Right, but I am 93 years old. I'm on social.
So there you go. 1 minute in, this lady's calling about something, or maybe she confused our ad for something else. But guess what? Caldoon's not paying for that. That's the way it should be. There's one of mine this morning. Listen to the introduction.
Thank you for calling Senior Life Insurance Company. How can I help you?
Yes, I was calling about a policy.
Awesome. Were you looking for a quote for yourself, or was this for a friend or a loved one? Ladies and gentlemen, that's 15 seconds in. The gentleman is saying what? I'm calling in for a policy. And you got 2 minutes. This is
Thanks
another
for
one.
calling Senior Life Insurance Company. How can I help you?
Well, I don't know. I was looking to see what kind of final expense costs.
Yeah, you called the right department. Were you looking for this quote for yourself or for a loved one?
For me.
All right. Well, the first thing we have to do is see if
That's 25 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, if you're seeing this. Why? Because again, these people are calling us. And I can't emphasize that enough. When you have people calling you and you have a sales script that's perfect and you got your closing down perfect, what do you think's going to happen? You're going to write a whole lot of insurance. And real quick, Caldoon, how long have you been with us since you started on the platform, Caldoon?
I think this is my third full week, so 3.5 weeks total.
3.5 weeks. In 3.5 weeks, how much annualized premium have you submitted just right off the top of your head if you had to put a number?
I think 24K. I could be wrong.
24,000, but we can say safely over 20,000, correct? Yeah. So let this sink in. And prior to coming here, can you share with everybody what your experience, what were you doing in terms of sales, or what were you doing?
So yeah, I've actually been part of 2 other agencies before this, from October of last year to this. Mm-hmm. So right before I joined this, Lauro and Thomas, so I was doing just standard mortgage protection, like term, final expense, and Yeah, we had to buy, leads by the bunch load, and then, it was just terrible, just calling leads that called in or, filled out a mailer, and we get them like 2, 3 months late. And it was a very, very uphill battle just getting them on the phone. We kind of, I don't want to use the word, but we kind of have to harass them in a way from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and, be like, hey, you called in a couple months ago. Can I talk to you real quick and set up an appointment? And that is just, oh my God, it's just a
It's
massive waste of
draining,
time.
ain't it?
Massive waste of time, energy, effort, money. Yeah. Wow.
Think
wow,
of
wow. So
think of an 8-hour window. I would say that at least over half of that time frame was spent outbound dialing, chasing people, just hoping to God they would give you a few minutes just to give your presentation. That's what you're shooting for. So you're shooting to get someone on the phone first. That's the first challenge. Then second challenge is that they have enough time right now for you to even give them your spiel. Well, hey, I worked that platform for many years, but years ago, people would actually pick up the phone. Nowadays, it seems like no one picks up, man. Over 95% of the people don't pick up the phone. And Khaldun, to the public, how many times have we had a caller, we have them on the phone, the call drops, and they never pick up the damn phone again?
yeah.
Happens all the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. If you're working a lead system, okay, and you're going and buying those Facebook leads, or regardless of the lead, anytime you buy a lead where it requires you to call them back, I hate to be a negative Nancy, but that's just a waste of money. Because when you factor in the amount of energy that's going to take to chase them down, when you factor all that, how many people are you really talking to at the end of the week? And you realize that your cost per acquisition, when you factor in the dialing hours, is going to be very high when you factor in who you really spoke to. And that's the name of the game. When you work in our system, yeah, $45 for an inbound. Let me tell you what, I'm not afraid to say it. It's not very expensive compared to the world of inbounds and live transfers. Not only are our inbounds totally legitimate from an TCPA and DNC standpoint, but the quality of these leads is through the roof. Now, are these laydowns? I wish. Trust me, I wish. But it does require you guys to be a sales professional and a closer. And if you are watching this right now, and again, some of the fears that we talked about is leads. Here are some people like you, some that had no experience prior, others that their experience was door knocking, and here they are. And all of these people that are on this call today have inked an application once, twice, 3 times. We got people like Khaldun that are lighting it up. And I always say this, if they can do it, you can do it too. Because trust me, I have agents from all walks of life, agents from all walks. For some of you guys that know Jimmy Chan is one of our guys. And Jimmy's been here with us since 2022. And when he started, he had some challenges. But guess what? The system works if you work. That simple. So with that said, to all listening in, and you're looking for an opportunity, join us on our virtual call center. I'm in Northern California. Khaldun's in Cleveland, Ohio. Bobby's out in Montana. We got Amador in Salinas, California. We can connect from anywhere. I got agents in South America, Europe, and doing what? Selling insurance, plugging into the program, and taking phone calls every single day, Monday to Friday. So again, give me an opportunity. If you're a licensed agent and you would like to see what we do in real time, you're more than invited, as long as you're a licensed agent. So with that said, guys, you guys have a great day. Be blessed, and see you guys at the top. Peace.